The first time I met my Hanggukin best friend, I thought I was going to be forced to join a cult. Or, get abducted. But that's just how some good stories start. It happened during my second week in South Korea. One night, while walking home from window shopping, my roommate Ariana and I were approached by two women. "Would you like to join our K-drama club?" they asked. My roommate and I looked at each other, and the crowd we were picked out of, with a sense of panic. Why us? We wondered. I spoke to the oval-faced woman on my right. She spoke with warmth and eagerness, her black shoulder-length hair sweeping across her collar when she bent to laugh, her eyes crinkling at the corners as our conversation drifted from the club to our interests, to psychology, where she told me that she was a children's therapist. Smiles blossomed on our faces as I shared that adolescent therapy was my future profession, and so we exchanged Kakao Talk information. At that time, I was wary, but also hopeful. I came to Korea to learn Hangguko, but more than that, I came to Korea to better understand the psychological and ideological differences between those in the industrialized East and West, where underlying cultural philosophies and communicative methods seem so different. I wanted to know more, and since Yonsei's one cultural psychology class was not open to foreigners, this seemed like my one shot. After that day, the club was never mentioned again between Kitty and I. What has been mentioned is the best ramen in Sinchon, the effects of Korea's compulsory military service, our relationships with our families, our favorite music, the comfort of rice porridge. Stories shared over countless cups of coffee, over bowls of steaming sundubu jjigae, phone calls, noraebang rooms, and texts. By this point, it was absurd to think I was ever fearful of meeting Kitty. We were kindred spirits, her and I, each dedicated to knowing each other deeply, each dedicated to the psychological well-being of others. I had never expected to meet someone like Kitty in Korea. Before coming here, my boyfriend and his mother, once Seoul Saram themselves, warned me that I might not be liked, stating that I could be treated rudely for my size, for being a foreigner, for being, well, me. If I had a difficult enough time being accepted in the US, then it only makes sense for me to be outcasted in Korea, where nonconformity was unacceptable, where there were still strong tones of male-oriented Confucius beliefs. During our first meeting, I told Kyuri that I was a feminist and a staunch supporter of LGBT+ rights, and so I'd expected our meeting to end at dinner, for forever. Instead, we then went to coffee, where I explained my viewpoints, and Kyuri curiously inquired further. At the end of our discussion, Kyuri seemed to smile to herself. She first looked away before facing me, and she said, "I was not familiar with the word before, but I think the same way. That must mean I'm a feminist, too." What she then said has yet to stop ringing in my ears. I never expected for us to be so similar. Me neither. Each time I meet with my Hanggukin best friend, I'm reminded that I belong here in Korea, just as my American friends remind me of my ties to my home country. Coming to Korea, I envisioned a me and a they. I imagined that I had no place in the lives of the residents of my host country. The moment I met Kitty and realized how similar we were, that seemingly concrete distinction of me and they dissolved into abstraction. I came to Korea looking for differences. I was prepared to be outcasted by a society that I didn't understand, a society that I had expected to be largely traditionalist and exclusive. Instead, I have felt more normal than I ever have before. I hope I can express to Kitty how much she means to me by the time I leave. She prompted cultural changes in me that caused me to reevaluate my purpose here in Korea and my relationship with Hanguk Saram. I believe that what she has shared with me has not only been her knowledge or her friendship or even her time, but Zhang. Because as I prepare myself to leave Korea, all I feel is love and a sense of community with those around me.